Justin Gaethje getting a title shot is a huge mistake that the UFC cannot make. Us not getting Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev is almost as big of a catastrophe and a disgrace to the fan base and the company as much as if we didn't get Aspinall or Jones. And it's as much of a disgrace to the company and the fan base like us not getting Jones versus Ngannou. Now, I'm wearing the Dustin Poirier. I'm Dustin Poirier's biggest fan. How you doing? My name's Cam. How's your mama? How's your family? And I'm wearing it because it's a bit ironic. It's funny. Okay, it's funny. It's ironic. I know. Let me defend my boy for a minute. Did Dustin Poirier deserve a title shot? No. But this is different. And this is different because there was nobody available to fight. Okay? Charles was hurt. Or Charles had just fought. I don't remember the circumstances. Gaethje wasn't in line for a title, or he was already booked for UFC 300 with Max. There was nobody to fight. Couldn't give him Michael Chandler. Couldn't give him Beneil Dariush because Charles had just finished Dariush. Excuse me. Not cutting that out. Okay? Islam wanted to fight that date. There was only one person available for that date. That was acceptable. And it was this guy. Okay? One fight winning streak just got KO'd by Justin Gaethje. I know. This is different. Ilia's ready. Ilia's in shape. Ilia's ready. They're on the same timeline. Ilia just fought. Islam just fought. Islam wants to be active. Ilia just moved up. He's chasing Islam. They're both active. Let's not wait. I don't need to see Ilia versus... I want to see Charles versus Max. But at the same time, I want to see Dustin versus Max because I don't want to see Dustin fight. People are talking about Dustin versus Ilia. Dustin already low-key declined that in a way. Like, he wants to fight legends. Yes, Ilia's damn near all-time great. Not damn near. He's an all-time great as of now. But when he says legend, he wants somebody that's been in the game for as long as him, has done as much as him. And that's Max Holloway. Or that's Justin Gaethje. I want Justin Gaethje 3. Justin kind of shut it down because he said it's not going to get him closer to a title. I disagree because of the way the lightweight division has been moving lately. But Charles and Max is a dream match. I don't want to see Ilia versus Charles. Ilia's ready for Islam. Stop the bullshit. He just KO'd the number one pound who was the number one pound for pound fighter. He was number 2 after Islam KO'd him. Beat Volkanovski, the greatest featherweight of all time, on a 22-fight unbeaten streak at featherweight. Okay. And then goes and knocks out the second greatest featherweight of all time, who has the best chin of all time, has never been knocked out in his career, stiffs him, flatlines, beats the 2 greatest featherweights ever. Max was still in his prime. Volk maybe right on the outside of his prime, still a very good Volk. There's nothing else for him to do at featherweight. You gave Conor a title shot without defending his belt against Eddie Alvarez, and there were people in front of him. This would be a fucking disaster if Ilia did not get a title. We're going to be reacting to the GOAT. I'm rambling. Fuck it. Haven't done a reaction video in a while. We're going to be reacting to the GOAT. Lucas Tracy. I want to hear what he got to say about it. I'm going to react like only I can do. Let's get into it.
So the UFC is trying to push for Justin Gaethje and Islam Makhachev, a matchup that nobody really wants, except for people that just, out of spite against Topuria,
I don't want it.
Or towards Topuria, they just don't want him to get a title fight because he's got to earn his chops. The real reason is because they know he's so much more dangerous than Justin Gaethje. Let's be honest. And there's another reason why this is actually being pushed for right now, and we'll get to that in a little bit. I just can't stand the fact that this is even a freaking conversation at the moment. And we also have...
He reacted the same way when Poirier got a title shot. Hey, bro, if your favorite fighter got a title shot, you're not going to complain. But I know, I could be honest, Dustin didn't deserve it. But he was the only one available at the time. Justin Gaethje is not the only one available. Armand's available. You know what I'm saying? Charles is available. You know? Ilia is available. He would be 4th in line behind all those 3 names. Like, come on, stop the shit. We're not going to worry about DC and Boatan. Let's get to this.
Don't think that would cut it at heavyweight. It's not a good take.
But
before we get into that, let's just get to the Justin Gaethje and Islam Makhachev stuff, because I've been seeing so much about this potentially being made in the past couple of days, and it's really starting to annoy me, and I'm sure a lot of people are feeling the exact same way. And we're just going to look at all of what's being put out there. Justin Gaethje tweeted, I won 3 out of my last 4, only losing an exhibition fight.
That's not an exhibition fight. If he's referring to Max Holloway, that's not an exhibition fight, buddy. That was a real fight. It might have been an exhibition because Max never was moved up completely to lightweight, but he bulked up. He was preparing for that fight. He knew what that fight would get him. It would get him wherever he wanted to go. And he decided to go fight for the featherweight title. But that win over you at that time was putting him in the conversation if he wanted to stay for a title shot. Let's not forget, that was not an exhibition. You fought a lightweight in Max Holloway.
Remember the exhibition match to Max Holloway? That
Bullshit.
was not a real fight. The knockout, I guess it didn't really count, even though I saw them compete for 25 minutes. I'm pretty sure Justin Gaethje was on the verge of a title fight. I guess he just didn't try it. We're obviously just bullshitting around
Yeah.
here. But, of course, Justin Gaethje is campaigning for a title fight, so I understand where he's coming from.
Terrible way to swing it.
He didn't have to take the Max Holloway fight, so I get it, why he's calling it
I
an
don't get it.
exhibition match.
I don't get it. I don't. Because at the end of the day, that was a BMF title. You're defending it. You're making championship money. You're on UFC 300. That's not an exhibition. Yeah, it's not a prestigious title, but like, come on, man. It's not an exhibition.
Because he really did the UFC a favor by fighting for the BMF belt. So it makes sense that Justin Gaethje is campaigning for a title fight. Of course he's going to do that. He wants to be a champion. He wants to make more money. I get it. But it's not just Justin Gaethje campaigning for it, which I understand. We also have ESPN MMA posting about the lightweight title picture. They posted this yesterday. They're asking fans,
where's Ilia's face? Where is Ilia's face? I sound like a big Ilia Topuria fan. I'm not. I actually like Islam Makhachev way more than Ilia Topuria. It's not even close. But come on, man. Come on, bro. That's what Khabib versus Conor should have been. Okay? And we have that. There are certain fights in this game that you have to make, or it will be a disaster, or you'll make it eventually too late. I'm talking about the Floyd Mayweathers and Manny Pacquiao's. I'm talking about the John Joneses versus Francis Ngannou's that never happened. We're talking about the John Jones versus Stipe Miocic that happened way too fucking late. Like, come on.
fans, who do you want to see fight Islam Makhachev next? And here are the options. Arman Sarukian, good option. Charles Oliveira, okay. Justin Gaethje,
no.
We keep getting worse. Dustin Poirier.
Yeah. You watch your fucking mouth. Just say no and keep it moving.
And then next is a question mark.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
You couldn't even put Ilia Topuria under Dustin.
That's fucking nuts. But I appreciate not the Dustin slander. I appreciate that, Lucas. You the GOAT.
You have Dustin Poirier, who just fought for a fucking belt against Islam Makhachev. Why is Topuria not even in the picture?
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
like they're purposefully avoiding any talk about Topuria getting the next fight. Like they're really trying to set up a Justin Gaethje matchup.
I think Khabib has a lot to do with that as well. You know, Khabib has been very vocal. He wants Ilia to fight a number one contender first. And I think Islam's feeling that way as well. Not as far as I'm scared of Ilia, but it's more as if I'm tired of people saying I'm beating up little guys. And I can understand that. But what I say to the people who say that, they're just trolling. And the people that say that, they need to just simply, excuse my language, shut the fuck up. Okay? Okay. Because I see Max fight at lightweight twice. He had never been in more danger, felt the power that he felt against that featherweight. Real shit.
How could you miss
Volk completed at lightweight twice. He KO'd Volk. Volk fought Islam. Islam KO'd him right off the couch. But that first fight, Volk did very good. Okay? So let's just stop this shit. Like, these, at the end of the day, these are pound for pound, top 3 pound for pound fighters in the world. This is what pound for pound is made for. One weight class difference, and you both are on a pound for pound list, ranked top 3. That shit goes out of the window. We're not talking about Islam Makhachev versus fucking Arnold Allen. That's not what we're talking about. Number 3 pound for pound in the world versus Islam Makhachev. We're talking about number 1 pound for pound Volkanovski versus number 2 pound for pound Islam Makhachev. There is a huge difference.
Ilia Topuria, the guy with the most hype in the lightweight division right now, who just KO'd Max Holloway, who just knocked out Volk, who has the aura of invincibility, undefeated, and you have Dustin Poirier as an option? He just fought Makhachev. That was his last fight, okay? And it's not only ESPN, it's also, MMA media journalists. And
most exciting is crazy. Most exciting is Ilia. Most intriguing is Ilia, and most deserving Arman. Ilia's close. I'm being dead serious. It sounds like I'm dick right. I'm not even that big of an Ilia Topuria fan, but it's just a fight that we need to see. We need to see it. We need to see it.
Listen,
we need to see this just as bad as we need to see Jones versus Aspinall. It might sound crazy. We need to see it. This has GOAT. Like this, what the UFC thought Jones versus Stipe was when it comes to deciding the GOAT of blah, blah. This is really what will play a factor on GOAT talks years down the line when you have two greats in their prime. One loss combined in between the two of them. Impeccable resumes. Two champions. This is what... Oh my gosh, I'm rambling.
Bond, as an example, nothing against Mike Bond. He said most intriguing.
That's
Ilia
horrible.
Topuria. I agree with that. Most deserving, Arman Tsarukyan. Okay, you can make that argument.
Yes.
100% Arman Tsarukyan, just because he pulled out doesn't mean he still hasn't really deserved that fight against Makhachev. It doesn't erase all the work that he's done in the lightweight division to get that title fight.
Correct.
But the thing that I disagree with is
bullshit.
Most exciting, Justin Gaethje. Yeah. I mean, listen.
Islam could do Justin Gaethje the same way he did not Moicano. I'm dead ass serious.
The most intriguing, Ilia Topuria. Obviously, the most deserving is Arman Tsarukyan, but the most exciting is always the highlight, Justin Gaethje. The thing is, that could be the case if we were talking about a potential matchup with Dustin Poirier or Gene Silva, but we're talking about a fight with Islam Makhachev, the pound-for-pound #1 fighter. The most exciting fight for Islam Makhachev is the most competitive fight because he's leagues ahead of everybody else, and it's only exciting if we believe that he could possibly be beaten. How is a Justin Gaethje fight, let's be honest, a fight where Gaethje only has a fluke chance, the most exciting matchup? You know what I mean? Again, it is what it is. He posted this, whatever. Again, nothing against Mike Bond. I'm just saying, how is it an exciting matchup? This is the real reason.
Oh, yeah, we still good.
The real reason why this matchup is being pushed for so hard right now.
Ali Abdelaziz,
the manager of Justin Gaethje.
I didn't even think of this shit. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Is also the manager of Islam Makhachev. And he understands that if both of his guys fight each other, that's going to be the best payday for him. So, of course, he's pushing for this. He's telling Justin Gaethje to push for it. They're all friends. They all want to make a bag. This is really why it's being pushed for so hard right now. Okay, and you could say, well, dude, come on, man. Gaethje deserves it. Not more than Arman, though. If this is all based on...
Not more than Charles. I'm dead ass serious. He beat Chandler, dude. I don't give a flying fuck.
Arman deserves it more. And I know that Ilia Topuria has alluded to something being announced soon, and maybe they're doing a Charles Oliveira matchup. They might be doing that, right?
That would be fucking nuts, by the way. That would be great. But that's not what we want. But it might be where they're leaning. Because I do believe Max is fighting Dustin Poirier in New Orleans, Louisiana. I don't see him fighting Arman Tsarukyan because of both of their Georgian descent. But Charles wants Max, International Fight Week. So I don't know what to believe.
But at the end of the day, why are we risking losing this matchup so that we can see a Charles Oliveira fight? I mean, think about it, dude. We've seen Charles lose in his prime twice. He doesn't have the hype that he did when he submitted Justin Gaethje. That was peak hype Charles. We don't have that at the moment. He's still great. He's still a fan favorite. I love Charles Oliveira. We all like Charles Oliveira. But we've seen him lose a couple times in his prime. And you're going to put him against Ilia Topuria, undefeated aura of invincibility. Good matchup. Amazing matchup. Don't get me wrong. I understand how fun that is. But if we get this matchup, that probably means that we would get a matchup like Islam Makhachev versus Justin Gaethje, because the UFC's pissed at Arman. I would actually not mind seeing Arman fight for the belt. But again, in this fight, you have Islam Makhachev, basically seen as an undefeated fighter, even though he's gotten knocked out in the UFC. Let's be honest, he was a tadpole, but he hasn't lost in his prime, and he has, like Ilia, the aura of invincibility. We don't really believe anyone could beat him. And you want to put him in there with a guy like Oliveira, even worse than Oliveira, though, who literally only has a fluke chance. I'm not saying Charles only has a fluke chance. I'm saying Gaethje, let's fucking be honest. You don't believe he has a chance.
I don't.
Other than a big KO out of nowhere, which everybody
big gnarly uppercut
in the lightweight division has. But like Oliveira, we've seen him lose in his prime before. This is not peak Justin Gaethje hype when it comes to his chances of dethroning the current undisputed champion. That was after the Tony fight, right? We've seen him lose 3 times in his prime. We've seen him lose to Charles, get sent flying across the octagon and submitted. We saw him get twisted into a pretzel against Khabib. We saw him get flatlined a fight ago against Max Holloway. And he's already fought for the belt twice.
His KO loss against Dustin Poirier doesn't count as his prime?
And I know some people are going to say, well, Topuria's fought for the belt. Just because he wants to move up doesn't mean he can call the shots in a
patient Gaethje. He was reckless. He brawled back fed.
Totally new division. Okay. And I get that, but still, Gaethje's on a 1-fight win streak. People are talking about this like, well, yeah, I mean, listen, man. Gaethje's already done so much work. Let's give him a crack. Let's give him a crack at the title. You know what I mean? If it's based on merit, it's an Arman title fight that we're looking at, not a Justin Gaethje title fight. Don't get confused just because Ali Abdelaziz is pushing for this fight so much because he manages both of them, right? And they're all going to be laughing to the bank. Don't get confused by that, all right? And this is another thing that I'm worried about. This is another reason why we shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's a great point that I forgot to mention in my intro. Man, we only have a limited amount of Islam Makhachev lightweight fights left. Okay? Let's not bullshit around here. All right? Because I feel like we already wasted one with Renato Moicano. Because that win over Arman, matter of fact, it might be a blessing in disguise. Because if he beat Arman there, well, shit, he might have been done. But it was Renato Moicano, number 10, right? Number 8, something like that. Excuse me. At the time, so okay, I'll do one more. Real number 1 contender. Real fight. And then I move up. I want second belt. This is just bullshit, man. It's bullshit, bro. It's like you knew John Jones had a limited amount of fights left in his career. He's been talking retirement for a very, very long time. And you wasted on 45-year-old Stipe Miocic. It's a fucking disgrace, dude.
Be wasting time, man. Islam Makhachev, if he were to beat Justin Gaethje, if he were to beat Arman Tsarukyan next, that would be his 5th title defense. 5. He's already broken the record. He's stuck around as a reigning champ in the hardest division to defend your belt in longer than anyone else. All right? If he beats Justin Gaethje, because he's already said some things, and I'm not saying this guy is ducking Topuria. He'll fight anybody if the UFC sends him a contract, but he's already said some things like, why does this guy deserve it, dude? I've already fought the featherweight champ. All right? I want to chase my legacy. I want to move up a weight class, but let's be honest, his next fight is not going to be at welterweight since we have a Bilal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena fight.
We low-key need Bilal to win that fight if you want to see Ilia versus Islam.
But if Islam Makhachev fights anyone else, let's be honest, this guy's not 30 years old. He's almost 34. He's been at lightweight for a long time. His weight cutting, it's getting tougher and tougher. If he defends for a 5th time, the likelihood of him moving up blows up, man. He's probably going to go to welterweight. And you know what they're going to be saying then? A lot of the people that just, again, nope. Anything other, people that want the Justin Gaethje matchup, I swear, they're only doing that because they just don't want Topuria to fight for the belt because they know Topuria has the best chance of knocking this guy out, and they'll hide behind anything they could say to discredit that being the fight to make, even though it's the most exciting fight. They just don't want it to happen because
one of the most exciting fights, dare I say, ever. I'm dead serious. One of the most exciting fights ever. And I think on paper and once it actually gets in the cage, unlike Conor versus Khabib, when it gets in the cage, it's going to live up to that. It's going to be one of the best fights ever. As far as skill, who's in the cage, what they can do, and putting it on the line to win a fucking fight.
Nope, doesn't deserve it. Nope. So when he beats a Justin Gaethje, what we will see is he might move up, and people are going to be saying, well, dude, come on, man. This is the real legacy. Come on, let Makhachev really...
Sorry to keep pausing, but it could also... Islam might as well go ahead and fight him. Especially if Ilia beats a number one contender, beats a Charles Oliveira, Islam, you might as well go ahead and fight him. Because if you move up, you ducked. That's what the narrative's going to be. I don't give a damn. You're going to have 5, 6 title defenses in the hardest, most skilled division in the world. I said it. The most talented division in the world. Hardest division to stay on top for in the world. Only the greats become champion at lightweight. Only the greats. Especially in the modern era. And they'll still say you ducked if you move up to go chase champ status without fighting Ilia Topuria.
Really go for his legacy. And at that point, it's kind of...
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Sorry to keep cutting you off.
This is the real legacy. Come on, let Makhachev really go for his legacy. And at that point, it's kind of understandable. But again, this could be the last window of opportunity to make this fight. Why are we wasting it on Justin Gaethje? People had a problem with the Poirier matchup when Poirier fought Islam Makhachev. Remember, he had gotten head kicked by Justin Gaethje, sent to the Shadow Realm. And he had not even a win streak, one fight that he won after that, and he was waltzing right back into a title fight. And we were saying it should have been Arman. Okay? It's the same situation. It's just that now the clock is ticking. The window of opportunity to make the best fight we could possibly make right now in the UFC is closing. It's the two fighters with the aura of invincibility. Two guys.
You can't see him losing.
Especially Islam Makhachev, where if he fights Justin Gaethje again, people are saying, let's just give it a crack. We don't have unlimited Islam Makhachev lightweight title fights. This guy's not going to be in the lightweight division in the same form for the next 15 years where he automatically beats all of the fun fights. You know, when people are just saying, so who cares? He beats Justin Gaethje anyway. So then why do we want to see it? Why do we want to see this matchup? It's bullshit. This is not the Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier gets a win and all of a sudden they're fighting for the belt again. These guys have fought for the belt before. I would get it if Islam Makhachev had just won the title. I would understand it. And then we'd be thinking, man, I can't wait for, to see this guy's title reign. The lightweight title reign is coming to an end. He's already saying,
yeah, it's already cemented.
He's already alluding to that, right? One more title defense, and it's going to be clear that, you know what? And I couldn't argue with him, at least, even though I would still want to see him fight Topuria. You couldn't argue with him wanting to move up at welterweight because he'd only be getting older. The weight cut would only be getting harder. Why the fuck are we pushing for this bullshit? It's not a good fight. Nobody thinks that Justin Gaethje can beat him. There's no point in just doing this because, listen, man, it is what it is. Topuria's got to earn his chops. You just don't want to see him KO Makhachev. And even if you don't think he does, you know it's a good possibility. And you could be saying, well you want to see him. I want to see the best fight the UFC could make. Ilia Topuria just knocked out the two best featherweights of all time back to back.
Like, you don't have to be Ilia Topuria fan to want to see that fight. That's not what it is. It's not Ilia Topuria fans. We want to see him fight it. This is the greatest fight in the world. The greatest combat fight in the world. I don't give a damn. We can talk boxing too. The greatest combat fight in the world. If it happens.
Brutal KOs.
Come on, man.
He's a trash talker. Okay? He has a fun fight
the
style.
The build-up will be nuts.
He speaks like 4 different languages. This guy has it all in terms of promotion, marketability. Like, dude, I'm hearing people say things like, well, as far as promotion goes, Of course you want to do the highlight Justin Gaethje as far as promotion goes. What the fuck are we talking about? Ilia Topuria, just, oh my gosh, what the heck, man? Holy crap. Like, can you even believe this? Woo, man. As far as promotion goes, the hype is where Ilia Topuria is at. Not the guy that we've seen lose a title fight over and over again. Justin Gaethje still has hype. He still is a fan favorite, but we don't think he can win. It's not the freaking peak matchup. It's not the best matchup since McGregor and Khabib, which Topuria and Makhachev would be. So why the heck are we even talking about it? And again, yeah, the Charles fight, man, so great. Ilia versus Charles. Why even take a risk? Because you know if Topuria loses, the hype is done. And it's like, listen, Islam versus Ilia could sell over 1 million pay-per-views.
In 2025, which is
Islam
crazy impressive, by the way, with the streaming we have. It will.
Makhachev just hit 10 million followers on Instagram, the biggest he's ever been as far as star power goes. Ilia Topuria, coming off of 2 KO wins in a row. Like, I just don't understand why anyone is just allowing this bullshit to happen. And the UFC, how are you missing this opportunity? You know, they're having issues selling pay-per-views these days. This is an actual fight that could sell pay-per-views. Makhachev versus Topuria. This is going to sell. Islam Makhachev at welterweight doesn't come close to him versus Topuria. It would be big, but let's be honest. If JDM wins the title, it's like, okay, we know that the people that are going to watch an Islam Makhachev versus a JDM fight or a Bilal Muhammad fight, okay, they're the ones that already watch Islam Makhachev fights. You're not going to really convert a lot of new fans. No more than you would on any other Islam Makhachev title fight, right? No more than you would on a regular Islam Makhachev title fight, okay? But Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria would convert tons of fans because of, you know, face-to-face.
I think we got down to the gist. Yeah, man. A disaster. Appreciate you, Lucas. Thank you for having me. Great conversation. Don't look at me like that. Why you look?
A sit-down interviews, right? You could do one like they did with Matt.
There you go. All right. Sorry. I'm not cutting that out either. Like, comment, subscribe, share this to somebody I know they enjoy just like you. Let me know down below, man. I really don't want to argue. I really don't feel like there should be an argument. But let me know. Should Gaethje get the next title shot or should it be Ilia Topuria? Please. Please. Just, please. Damn, Blake. Screaming loud as a bitch. Yeah. Don't be stingy. Share me. Don't be silly. Jump the gilly. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here, man. Yeet.